everyone has heard the rumors that Mick Foley will be stepping away from WWE sooner than later. Everyone heard the rumors that Mick Foley was going to be taking basically the month of December off to go off and play Santa Claus. And the rumor was that he was not going to be on Raw after the pay-per-view. And boom, there he was, week after week after week, even though the reports were that he was going to be stepping away. Then the story came out that Mick Foley needed hip replacement surgery and that he'll be having to step away from WWE again. And, WWE has even brought that up in on-screen promos from Triple H and Stephanie and the faces of Mick Foley. So we all know that the days of Mick Foley being in WWE are going to be numbered. There's already the rumors that Kurt Angle, who's going into the WrestleMania WWE Hall of Fame this year, that people think that he will be returning being a GM. We've seen Daniel Bryan basically pushing back against WWE, saying that he is not allowed to wrestle anymore. Maybe he finally gets the release that he's been looking for and able to see if he really can go out there and wrestle and have one more match or a string of matches or, wrestle until, he can't do it anymore. WWE, with their situation, they don't want to have him wrestle because of the liability. Maybe they just take him off television again, trying to find a way to keep him under contract where he's not able to go to a Ring of Honor, he's not able to go to a New Japan, and help out the opposition, even though the WWE doesn't want to use him the way that he wants to be used. Mick Foley having to step away for the hip replacement surgery, not having that GM there, that's a way for Kurt Angle to return. As of right now, I don't think that Angle's going to come back and do the GM thing, but with what happened on Raw last week, with Mick Foley standing up to Triple H, basically after they were trying to run him into the ground and make him, sleek back to the back, Triple H basically saying that he doesn't like Foley, he didn't want to bring him back, but it's actually Stephanie, who finds him funny, and likes having him around, that brought him back as the GM, even though that he, put his input in and it was not taken. When you put the claw on Triple H, you're either setting up a match or you're asking to get fired. Basically, the authority is not going to let anybody get a one-up on them. Mick Foley is not able to take a bump. He's not going to be able to, pass the, I guess you can say the physical or the wellness test in order to be in there. So they're not going to take the chance and have him do anything that's going to have him take a chance of getting hurt, even if it is that he's going to be leaving wrestling and not be around for a while. So we can't do the whole Vicky Guerrero, let's put you in a match before we send you off and then throw you into the big pile of, goop or whatever it was. So is Foley gonna get fired on Raw with basically the authority just getting that last little bit of heat, being able to just say that's it, you're done, and people be upset. That way people turn on Triple H going up against the Rollins match. Maybe they find a way to tie this into the whole thing with Rollins, where Rollins wants Foley to stay. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it would put a little bit of a stipulation, and it also would draw in Stephanie into the Triple H versus Rollins match, even though she's already involved with Rollins, doing a lot of promos with Stephanie, waiting on Triple H to show his face on Monday Night Raw. And Stephanie, even though she kept saying didn't know why Triple H did what he did with Kevin Owens, and we still don't have an answer, I guess that does make sense. But, looking for Foley to get fired on Raw is possibly one of the big highlights on the road to WrestleMania.